What's up people, this is me climbing the Britannia Bridge in Wales, and I'm going to tell you about a different time where me and my mate climbed a different bridge and saved someone's life in the same night. First of all, I apologise about any background noise because I'm at a summer camp in Canada at the moment, so I'm just on some free time and I have some time to record some audio for this video. So I'm just walking off in the woods, and sometimes there's children screaming and boats doing their thing. So this is the Britannia Bridge, and it stands at about 67 meters at its highest point. Its construction started in 1846 and finished in 1850 for a total building time of 4 years, which seems like a remarkably short period for a structure this big. Its completion provided the first rail connection to Anglesey, although the Menai Bridge was finished 24 years earlier to the Britannia and carried out only road and not a railway purpose. And then in 1970, a fire caused extensive damage to the bridge, and the stone piers from the original bridge were reused to build new arches. These arches are now used to support 2 new decks rather than 1, and that enables the function of a railway as well as a road. The bridge then opened again in 1972. As I mentioned before, this is one of the 2 bridges linking Wales to Anglesey, both of which I've climbed. Sadly, the footage of my send of the Menai Bridge is too dark and unusable, but it comes with a good story of how me and my mate saved someone's life that you can enjoy while watching me climb the Britannia. I've been planning to climb the Menai Bridge all year, and at the end of the year, one of my friends who had told about this venture asked if he could go join me. So the next day, we set off around midnight to avoid the traffic and headed out to complete our mission. After a short walk, we arrived at the location and scouted out possible ways to ascend the bridge. There was a ladder on one of the pillars, but it was about 4 meters above from where we were standing, so we had to look for another route up. After some time of looking around the bridge, we figured that you could get onto the suspension cables in the middle of the bridge and then just work your way up to the top. The only problem with this plan is that there were cars going over the bridge every few minutes. This included police cars doing their rounds. Luckily, the cables are in pairs with one stacked on top of the other, leaving around a 2-foot gap in between where you can hide as the cars go past. So off we went, slowly and carefully climbing up these cables, with me on one side of the road and my mate on the other, so we were parallel to each other on each side of the road. This was a surprisingly easy task as long as you can hold your nerve. After the longest 10 minutes of my life, we reached the top of one of the pillars, and after about 5 minutes of enjoying the fruits of our efforts, we heard a scream and a splash, which left us both very confused. We continuously got more concerned as we heard a faint yelling from the same spot as we heard the splash. What was the chance of someone falling into the Menai Strait at 1 in the morning? Another few minutes went by and the yelling continued, so we decided to get down and check out what happened just in case. Right next to the bridge there is a small grass platform that stood maybe 3 meters above the sea floor. At this point the water was only a foot deep, so we went down to the grassy area and looked for the source of this yelling that was still going on. I heard very quiet music coming from near the edge of this grassy platform and found someone's phone with earbuds playing music, but with no person there. Suddenly it dawned on me, and I looked over the edge to see a man just chilling in the water about 10 feet directly below me. Me and my mate ended up dragging this extremely drunk man out of the water and called the ambulance since we couldn't get a hold of his family. We eventually managed to call this guy's wife and get him sent off home safely after the ambulance showed up and confirmed he was okay. Funny thing is, if we hadn't climbed the bridge that night, that man would have probably died from hypothermia. Anyway guys, keep safe, stay drunk, and don't fall into the Menai Strait. Thanks for watching. Aussie out.